Oh, what's the recipe for a great podcast? 1 part host talking, 2 parts you listening, 3 parts let's hang out? Sounds good to me. Welcome to the show! Hello again, everybody. Welcome back. It's another Wednesday, another time, another day. But we're here. Let's hang out, guys. Let's talk. Let's do some stuff. Let's talk about things going on. And I'm going to start kind of just right out of the gate on a topic here. But before I do that, again, changing the way we do things here just a little bit. Getting all the social stuff out. You guys want to get connected with the conversation and join in on the topics. Join in feeding the show ideas and being involved in all that stuff. Please feel free to do so. You guys can connect on any of our social networks you can find us on. Just search at Letshangoutpod. If you happen to see a blue logo that says Let's Hang Out, that's probably us. Like, follow, subscribe, do all those things, and get involved, man. If you're on a network that allows you to use hashtags to connect, hashtag Let's Hang Out Pod also works. That way you don't have to tag directly if you don't want to for any weird reason. That's entirely up to you. We're not judging you. But yeah, let's get into things, guys. So, last week dropped a bonus episode for you, which was kind of fun. It was something we were recording. It was the final episode recorded on the old computer. This is the first one being recorded on the new computer. And you guys, I can't even begin to put into words how cool this is. This computer has done everything I've asked it to so far without an issue. I've never experienced that. Other than when I have a brand new computer, I've never experienced issue-less use. It's probably not the right way to word that. Anyway, going with it. It's wild. It's so insanely weird to be able to do this and understand, after thinking about it for a while, and understand that I can do all these tasks and all these projects and all these things I've wanted to do. I have the ability to do them now, and I am so pumped to do this. Mentioned it in the last episode, made kind of the official-ish announcement that we are going to be doing a Let's Hang Out live. The goal was to do it before the end of the summer. Unfortunately, with everything going on and the PC issues I was having before, and timing and everything else in life, it just wasn't going to happen. That's why I kind of held back making that big announcement and setting a time frame together. At the moment, I still do not have a specific date. I have nothing on the calendar yet. So if there's a day and time that you guys want to get involved, let me know. Put it out there. Again, tag on the socials and give me time frames that work for you guys where you'd want to be involved. The podcast will be hosted for a single day, one time on my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/WLinden. And that's where we'll record the whole thing. We'll record the video and I'll post the video elsewhere. We'll do the obvious editing that we need to do. And I just want to get everybody involved. I think it'd be kind of a fun thing to try out before the end of the year. In my head, and this is, again, just throwing it out there, it's not set in stone. In my head, I'm like, episode 20's coming up. Maybe we do it for episode 20. I don't know. I don't want to commit to it. I don't want to say that's when we are definitively doing it because I've got things going on. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, we're here. Today's episode. The thing I want to really talk about is the mentality, and I know it's going to sound really cliche to a lot of people, but the mentality of never giving up. And the last few episodes, as you guys may have picked up, again, it was that roller coaster of emotions of, man, I don't have time to do things, but then I'm excited for this new computer, and we go back a few other episodes, and we had tech issues, and it was real down, and then we had a lot of really great episodes that were up, and it's this constant back and forth, up and down motion of the emotions. And, you know, I'm a big believer in putting in the effort. And it's one of those lessons I've tried to push to my kids as well, to make them understand that not everything comes easy. You do have to work for things. And sometimes you put something out there, you do something, and it doesn't work out. That doesn't mean it's the end of the world. This is one of those cases where I am living that example and really trying to live that example for my kids. You know, my wife does an amazing job being the role model for the kids to further their education. She is working on a master's, working full-time. She's been going to school and working full-time since she decided to go back to school. And I can't think of a better role model for the kids to follow for education. I truly can't think of anybody else who would be a better example. And in my head, I want to leave that same kind of example with them. To me, showing them that never giving up is a mentality worth living, I think is a great way to go about that, because it's been something I've tried to live my entire life. And I openly admit that there are times where I have gotten to that point where I've given up on things, but it wasn't immediate. It wasn't the first time something went wrong, or the program that we were working on didn't work, or any of that stuff. It wasn't a things didn't happen the way I wanted them to, so I'm going to give up here and now and walk away boo-hoo. For me, in order for me to truly give up on something, I have to have given it 100%, given it multiple chances, and really tried everything possible. And even then, even at that point, it's really not giving up. It's something that I don't like to leave things undone. I may say that I'm taking time away, or I'm stepping away from this and I'm done with it for now, but I don't think I've truly given up on very many things, because I like to come back, and I'm a completionist. I like to have things done, which as a gamer is probably one of the worst mentalities to have, because that list of backlog haunts me. But with all my stuff I'm doing here, my projects and things like that, I'm trying to teach the kids that yes, even though I've run into issues, we've run into recording issues, we've run into editing issues, even with my fundraising and my streaming, we've run into different issues. This year's fundraising has been the slowest it's been in years, and it's not just me that's feeling it, and I understand that. There are people that have raised thousands of dollars every year, and they're only just barely cracking 1,000 right now. Or it's a year. It's this entire year. It's the current economy, and we could go on a long rant about that and point fingers and blame every other source for the lack of funding. And most of us would be right. But that's not what I'm here for. My fundraising, again, is one of my big things I like to do. And yes, I'm not where I want to be with it, but I haven't given up on it. This past week, we just got done having our Extra Life tabletop weekend, which is, like I mentioned in the previous episode, one of the big things that I look forward to the most, because that's fundraising weekend for me and my family. That's not just a me situation. My family gets involved in this. And we had an awesome weekend. We put out a $100 goal, and we were able to not only hit and exceed the $100 goal, I had a smaller challenge earlier in the week to raise $62, and if we did that, I was going to match it. So we did that. So we raised I think by the end of it, it was $133, $134. And it all just, it's, again, I'm not where I want to be. By this time of the year, I'd like to be over $1,000 raised minimum. And we just barely broke 300. But again, that's progress. We haven't given up. I haven't given up on it. I'm still making up ground for things that I messed up on. And I don't even want to say messed up on. It's things that I couldn't do that I should have been trying to do more of when I was down and out. During the big move, when we moved from our old town to where we are now, almost doxed myself there. I had to catch myself. But going from where we were to where we are now, and dealing with my cancer situation and having surgery that same week of moving and all that stuff, like I was down and out for a while. Once we got moved, a lot of the focus became getting things situated here, and that took longer because, again, I was down and out and recovering. And it felt like as soon as I got up and able to do things, we had other stuff we had going on, the holiday times rolled around, and then the holiday season finished up, and then I injured myself, or life injured me. I'm not sure how that all worked out. I rolled out of bed and I couldn't move. So I have rewards that I'm still sitting on from the 2021 fundraising year and half of the 2022 fundraising year that I haven't sent out to people, and I feel absolutely gutted. Just terrible every time I look at this basket. And I have every bit of drive to get it done. I have all the determination to get it done. I haven't had the resources to do it. And I've slowly been getting all that put back together, getting all the things I had originally that I was working on, all the stuff I was making, the crafting, and all of that. Like, I am determined to get it done. It is going to happen. But I also understand how my body's been reacting to different things with activity and the things that I try to do, and I understand that I cannot go full out like I want to, or else I'm going to burn myself out, and I'm going to fall apart, I'm going to injure myself again. Any of those things could happen. You know, I'm getting all the little tingles and signs that my back is not doing as good as it was 2 or 3 months ago. I'm getting that signal that I might need to go back in and get another injection in my spine. I'll deal with that. But if I'm going to deal with it, I'm going to have a plan, and I'm going to keep moving this time. And that's what I'm trying to teach my kids, is that even if something slows you down, don't give up on what you're doing. Now, I want to improve everything that I'm doing, from content creation to fundraising to projects around the house and hobbies and all this stuff that I've been working on. I don't want to just sit stagnant, not growing, not learning, not trying new things. I want to keep moving. I was down and out for almost a year, could not do anything, and I refuse to be in that spot ever again. Now, saying that, I understand that I didn't put myself in that situation. It was an unfortunate circumstance, and sometimes those do happen. But I refuse to take the lessons that I learned while I was down and just not use them. So I am getting myself situated. Yes, have I slowed down on posting things for all of my projects? Yes, absolutely. But behind the scenes, while I'm not posting and not keeping myself visible to everybody at all times like I try to do, I have got my notebooks going, I've got all my plans I'm working out, laying out ideas, and making things work, getting resources together without breaking the bank, and just slowly plotting these things out. Because if I decide, and this is just kind of thinking out loud right now, if I decide that for the remainder of this year that I'm just going to slowly plug away at things and just kind of carry on through, there are certain things that I absolutely have to do, or things that I've told myself that I absolutely have to do. I have to have my episodes out for this podcast, and I refuse to fall behind on those. I have to keep up with at least maintaining fundraising and trying to make progress every month. Whatever we end up with, we end up with. My content creation and my streaming stuff, again, I want to work on those and get better. There are certain key things that I want to do no matter what. But if the rest of this year is a matter of just slowing down and prepping to launch January, and it's the whole mentality of like the bow, pulling back the arrow. If this end of the year, if this fourth quarter is just a matter of me pulling back the string and loading the arrow, which is going to be all of my projects, and launching that thing in January, you bet your butt I'm pulling that string back as far as I can. I refuse to let anything slow me down going forward. So circling back to the episode, Not Enough Time. When I talked about things, I had mentioned that there was a lot of stuff I wanted to do and I didn't have time to do it. And that may have been misinterpreted in some ways. Even when I listened to it again, when I re-listened to the episode, it just, something about it didn't quite sit right with me, and I want to clarify a little bit on that. Because it's not that things are not getting done. It's not that I don't have time and things are not getting done. Things are getting done. It's just that I have so many things on my want list. So many things that I want to do with so many people. I have other collaborative projects that I am dying to do, and I want to reach out to people and make them happen. But I understand that I cannot do them yet. I'm simply choosing not to dive in head first without a plan and without things in place to make it work. So I don't have enough time to do everything I want to do right now, but those things are still going to happen because I refuse to give up. I refuse to not let it happen. So hopefully that little blurb kind of explains that a bit more and fills in things. You know, I've talked about it again a while back with the Taskmaster, is that I like to have things in place. I like to plan ahead. I like to make actions reality. I like to have these plans ready to go and check off all the boxes that I am good, we are set, things are in place, nothing's going to implode when we go to start it, and then going for it. That's me. That's my drive. That's the way I do things, and it works. Not everybody likes to plan. Not everybody likes to do that, and that's okay. But I'm telling you guys, and I'm telling everybody who listens to this, and everybody who ever has a project they want to do, even if right now in this moment is not the time to start that project, do not give it up. Keep it there. Tack it up on your board of ideas and revisit it. And revisit it often so that way you keep it fresh in your mind of what you want to do. And start putting things in place, even if it's one thing every now and then. Start getting those actions going. Make things happen. I don't want to say I bragged, but I bragged about it with this computer last time. I started the episode talking about this computer. There is so much that I am capable of doing now with this machine, and I am going to do it. Not just because I have the machine, but because I keep telling you guys about it. I keep telling everybody that I have all these projects and these ideas that I want to make real, and I have the tools. Now I need to set aside the time and make it happen. Now I need to start reaching out to those people that I want to collaborate with and make it happen. So even if I'm not super active all the time, out in the spot, out in that spotlight where people can find me on all the socials all the time, and I have a ton of different socials. I'm not going to get into it and break it all down, but I have a lot. I have a lot of projects I'm working on. I am going to make sure that that time away from the spotlight is being worked on, working on the ideas for each of those things I have, each project I have, each channel that needs information and that needs content, and I am going to make things happen. I refuse to say that I am done with these projects until I have given everything. And I hope that you guys can take that from here this time. Take that lesson. Do not give up. Whether it's a project, whether it's on your own well-being, whether it's on your health, do not give up. I want you guys to succeed. I don't even know a majority of you that listen to this because you guys are all over the place. All over the US, all over the UK. From as young as, what did I have on that last check? 13-year-olds that are listening to this podcast on up to 60 plus. I don't know who you guys are, but I want you to succeed. And I want you guys to keep going on whatever it is that you want to do. You can do it. I believe that you can do whatever you put your mind to. I believe that everybody has the ability to do whatever they put their mind to. We all have moments where we're down and out, we're tired, we're exhausted, or we just plain don't have a plan of how to get there. That is okay. That is the time to start making plans. If you don't have anything actively going on and you're not actively working on something, take that time and start formulating the plan. Even if step one is getting the piece of paper out and just writing down what your goal is, that's one step closer. Now, I know I've probably been at the microphone here, and it's probably come across a lot more pumped up than normal, and I want it to. I really do. I'm so excited. I can't wait to do these things, and I want you guys to be a part of it. I can't wait to show you what I'm able to create now and get these ideas out of my head, into the computer, down at my fingertips, and just creating magic with you guys. I really am excited for it. I've got to get my balance down. I've got to get the time frame because I'm not going to ignore the family and life stuff going on to do this. I'm going to make the balance happen. So bear with me. I hope you guys continue to stick with me for the journey. Some of you guys have been here since the beginning, and it means so incredibly much to me to see you guys commenting and messaging and all of that. It makes me feel so good. So we're working on things, hoping to get another guest on the episodes here soon. I'm going to reach out to a couple friends. We'll see what we can get figured out, get planned. I know that I have James kind of hanging out in the wings here, waiting to do our re-record of the episode we lost. Change of topic, change of idea, but just kind of re-recording it and touching base on it. I happen to still have all the notes, which is awesome, because I was writing down stuff left and right during that episode. So we'll recap that. But maybe we'll bring Mig Train back on here, maybe we can try to get Zerelius back on here, and maybe we'll get some new faces. I've got a lot of people that I'm inspired by, a lot of people who really make me want to do better, and I really would love to have them on here so you guys can experience the wonderful people they are too, because again, they make me want to be better, do better. And I want to share that with everybody. So I've talked a lot. Hopefully you guys are as excited for things coming, and hopefully you guys are as driven to do what you want to do as I am. I'm just going to wrap it there. Call it a day. Call it a podcast. I will catch you guys on the next one, hopefully soon. Hopefully with some more new information to share with you. I'll keep you guys posted. Follow on the socials again, at Let's Hang Out Pod, pretty much everywhere. Hashtag Let's Hang Out Pod. Have a great rest of your week, rest of your weekend, and everything coming up, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Go do those things. Go do those things. I'll see ya.